Epirus is a two-province minor country that is between the Ottomans and Byzantium. Some say it's a little brother of Byzantium with Latin culture and even call it the White Phoenix. If you ask me, it's basically Byzantium on a very hard mode, where the strategy is going to be slightly harder than for the big purple Phoenix brother, but still it's very doable. I've done multiple test runs, 2 of them recorded, one of them went very easy, so I decided to do another one recorded, because it was too lucky and I wanted to show you a harder playthrough. We're going to start our game with setting up rivals, and to be honest, a rival, just Byzantium, because Albania is going to be one of our major allies. Our 2 diplomats are going to improve relations with Pope and with Albania. Estate setup is going to be pretty important. From clergy I'm going to take admin points and the loyalty. From nobility is going to be only the mill points and supremacy over the crown. And finally from the burghers, this is going to be tolerance of the heretics, because we have Orthodox provinces. It is going to 1% loans, which we are going to invest in a second, and more of the prestige. Finally, we have to take a diet. Optimally, would like to get from the clergy to improve relations with Pope, but of course you need to take whatever you can actually do. Next step is to build 2000 troops to be up to our force limit, and this is going to help us get more allies. And from the money that we have, we are going to start building 5 galleys. Here in a long term, we want to have a fleet that is going to be 0 heavy ships, 2 trade ships, 15 galleys and 0 transports. But do not delete the transports until later we get our major allies, because this is going to help with this. Part of our galleys we are going to start hunting pirates in Ragusa, because they are going to start raiding our coasts. Over 1 or 2 months we are going to ally Albania and start improving relations with Aragon, because this is going to be one of major allies for us. While improving, we should be able to royal marry them around January to March 1446. Once you royal marry them, they're going to accept the alliance, and at 150 positive relations we are unlocking a mission that is giving us a full core on Malta for free. So that's additional capacities for us. Now the fun part starts. This is going to be important to get one more major ally over here. And this is going to be either Austria, Hungary or Poland. Ideally, you would like it to be Poland with the union of Lithuania, but this is going to depend who of them rivaled the Ottomans, because this is going to make them more willing to ally you as you are being threatened by the Ottomans. So in this case, you are going to start improving relations with one of those 3 that is rival with the Ottomans and doesn't have too many diplomatic relations. And yeah, at this point I tested it 5 times, and from those 5 times, 4 times I was able to choose a country and improve relations enough to get an alliance. So this strategy is going to work in most of the cases. If it doesn't, you might have to restart the game. By January 1448 you should have improved relations with Poland maximally, so it's 125, but we need 150 for the mission tree. So to get more, you're going to scornfully insult one of the rivals to get it to 150. This unlocks a mission that gives us claims on Greece, so we can go after Byzantium in a second. Keep in mind that in the meantime you need to keep building the galleys up to 15 that I mentioned, and of course you might not have enough money for that, but remember that we set up the estates, the burghers, to have tons of the loyalty over the influence. That means that you can actually cancel the 1% loans without repaying them and take them again. So you have 10 of those loans while paying absolutely no interest for them. And in my more lucky run, I managed to get alliance with Poland, which had Lithuania as a union quickly, but as mentioned, I want to show you the more unlucky run, where I actually tried to ally Austria and it didn't work, so I had to improve relations with Hungary, which slowed me down. But by July 1448, in my more unlucky run, I got the royal marriage with Hungary and then allied them. And here, again, keep in mind that you can scornfully insult the rival to quicker improve relations by 25. With the diplomat that you used for the Pope improve relations, you're going to carry favors on Aragon, while for the second diplomat you are going to carry the favors for Hungary. So both of those countries ideally should have 10 favors for the later war with the Ottomans. In the more unlucky run, my war with Byzantium was a little bit late, because it was in December 1448, but it was still okay because Ottomans attacked just after me, and we just need to be faster than them in occupying the southern Greece. And here you need to remember that Byzantium usually does not pay for the Moria fort, so you start the war on the 1st of the month, you block the strait so you are sure to go for it right away, and you are just going to occupy the fort within a month. You can peace out Byzantium for all of the Greece provinces and taking the money, which is just going to help you to keep building the galleys. After the Byzantium war, what is important is to gather more allies. The knights is definitely going to be one of the easiest to get, and they are going to help with the fleet, but in some cases you can get also someone else, and in my more unlucky run I also got Genoa. Now, when do you want to attack the Ottomans? Basically, it's when you have at least 10 favors on Aragon and one of the strong allies. And now, as the moment when you would like to attack the Ottomans, ideally in around 1450, 1451, they're going to attack someone in the east to conquer the land. So it can be Kandar, it can be Karaman. Like for example, in my more lucky run, when I allied with Poland, they went at war with Tunis. So all of the troops were far away. That's why I do not want to show you this, because it was like super lucky that all the troops were there. In the more unlucky run, I think that they were at war with Kandar and Crimea, so the troops were just slightly away, but it was giving us enough time to gather the allies. Before you declare the war, what is important is to set up your provinces of interest, and you need to set up the way that is going to block all of your allies that want the land to actually taking the land in the peace deal. And what is important for this strategy, that you need to be first to occupy those provinces before your allies, because otherwise they will want these provinces in a peace deal if you promise them land. But if they do not, then you can just block them and take everything for yourself. If you would like to know more about this strategy, there's a very good guide done by Budget Monk on YouTube. And as you can see when I'm declaring the war, is that actually Ottomans are having strong allies. It's Tunis and Tlemcen. So it's making this war even more tough. But on my side I'm going to have Albania, the Knights, Hungary and Aragon. With the start of the war, we are recruiting 2 merc stacks, the Free Company and the other stack with 4,000, and this way have 15,000 troops, which is not that much, but that's double force limit, so we are going to pay a lot for it. And here ideally is the situation where we needed those 17 ships, because these 17 ships are able to breach the walls from the sea of any chosen fort, and we are going to use it to get as many land as possible before the Ottomans arrive, and at the same time remember to allow the allies to attach to your armies, so ideally Albania with their leader and other allies will come to you and you'll be having bigger numbers, which will scare the Ottomans from fighting you. Basically at this point you should just have more armies than the Ottomans, and you should be using it to play safely, siege down the forts and not fight, and pick up only the fights where you are sure that you are going to win, because you have way more numbers, they have no reinforcements, and we are not taking any huge risks. Just play safe, and once you siege down whole European part of them, especially if they have Constantinople for themselves, you should be having around really enough war score to get 100% peace deal. In my case, Hungary even got peaced out quicker, so when I was taking money from the Ottomans, I actually got most of it for myself, but in your case it will be probably around 30% of the money. But this money should be pretty much enough to repay most of your 4% loans, while you can keep 1% loans and even retake them from the burghers again by cancelling and taking the privilege again. In a peace deal itself, we are going to take very similar peace deal that you're usually taking as Byzantium, but important part is to take a border with Serbia. So in the future we are going to go after the gold mine in Kosovo. So yes, this is the basic opening and a few notes for the potential further strategy. So first of all, you have more development now, so you can take bigger loans to repay the old smaller ones, so you end up not with 15 or 20 loans, but just 5 or 7. Second of all, we need to divide our expansion plans. First of them is of course to be still conquering the Ottomans in the future, but this is going to be tons of aggressive expansion on the Muslim countries, so we are going also to expand north into mentioned Kosovo to take the gold mines or even take more of the Balkans for ourselves. So yes guys, this is basically all of the guides. Please let me know how much helpful it is for you, or maybe you have any more tips that you would suggest for the other players. And keep in mind that the crucial part of this guide is to get alliance with either Austria, Hungary and Poland. I showed you the more unlucky run, where actually Hungary wasn't pissed out, but it went under the union with Austria, so I had to fight without them for a long time. And you can basically see that the carry favors mechanic is a gift for a god over here for such a small nations to get strong allies into the war with them. So for today, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this guide, please remember to leave a like and comment what other countries you would like to see in the future guides, and of course subscribe to the channel to get notified about the new videos. See ya!